This is the most important story to tell in South African hip-hop history.
I want to tell you how powerful PROkid is, or maybe how powerful Sydmoney was.
He changed the sound of the industry back then.
We need to invent our own sound, and we need to be different.
The music was suddenly having a voice that was, yes, connected to the American voice, but still had a South African soul.
You know, he was a mover. You know, he was the kind of guy that made things happen.
He was loud and he was like American accent and.
At the time, radio wasn't playing hip-hop for some reason, especially not South African hip-hop.
Everybody's excited about this new South Africa. Mandela coming off prison and stuff, and then moving into this new democracy.
A free man.
It was newly minted freedom.
Me and Sydney, we had a big impact on the scene. We came with fresh new ideas.
Sometimes new ideas really scare people, and convincing people that these new ideas are best for them is a really hard thing, especially when you're a foreigner.
He's one of the brightest minds I've ever got to enjoy in my lifetime. And I saw him start nothing and make it something.
He was about forming relationships, building relationships.
One of the most important life lessons would be patience.
We were dreamers.
Hip-hop is the future.
There's not a lot of genres where you can tell a story. That's why I think I gravitated towards hip-hop.
So you know when you hear people playing music in cars and loud, that's when you gotta worry and say, okay, that's when you know who this shit. Because all of these people are now playing this other guy's music.
I heard he was over one, and I was like, I've never heard this before.
His rhymes and his way of delivery was quite different from anything you've ever heard of. From the first time I heard him, I knew that this guy was going to blow up. I knew that this guy was going to change the face of hip-hop in South Africa.
For a long time, guys were not confident to sort of rap in their own mother tongue.
When he dropped Heads and Tails, it was 2005. Everybody wanted to hear that album because of the bars. Wordplay was insane.
When you're trying to bring new ideas to a place that's still stuck in the past, you're gonna get tension.
It was not easy somehow, being a rapper.
He had a price on his head. The streets in the hood are pretty much the same everywhere. You know, you gotta know who's who, what's what. You know, you gotta keep your head on a swivel.
Being the first at anything will always put a target on your head. He smashed it up.
Sydmoney wouldn't back down to no one. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew what he wanted to accomplish, and he stayed focused on that.
The challenge was the industry itself. You should be able to leave legacy.
I think the key ones is don't fear anything.
It's your boy LES, aka Mr. Fresh to Death, and this is Tales for the Heads.
Tales for the head. Tales for the heads. Tales for the heads. Tales for the heads.
Tales for the heads.
Tales for the heads.
Tales for the heads.
Tales for the heads. R.I.P.
Pro-facts, proactive, pro-asses, pro-cash, pro-hoes, pro-ass, pro-lavish, bag habits, my family, my niggas, so savage, pro-hits, pro-kicks, pro-fits, pro-cabbage.
Josie, everybody's some Bodie. All these niggas is phony. These niggas do crime, some niggas do time in Josie. We keep it moving straight on the low key. Politicians, they know.